Welcome to a new lesson of Adobe Lightroom. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how you will be able to fix the texture of the skin by using Adobe Lightroom. Well, a photo editing software or a video editing software which does not have these type of tools to fix up the texture of the skin cannot be deemed to be, good. So this is like a very demanding type of feature or a very demanding type of, work which most of the photographers and editors need to use. Okay, so you have to keep those in mind, and Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Lightroom Classic is able to do those both works. Okay, so first what we're gonna do is going to be like describing it to you how those actually work, and later on show you the example by showing you the example and also the steps by how you will be able to use these tools and then fix the texture of the skin in Adobe Lightroom. First off, what I'm gonna do is going to be opening up Adobe Lightroom or Adobe Photoshop, whichever one you have. So first off, I'm gonna do is import a photo from my desktop. So I'm gonna do is import and then select the drive where I have my photo, so which is going to be local H where I have my photo. So from here, I'm gonna select the photo which I'm gonna select. So I'm gonna select this photo and then click on import. So what you're gonna see is that photo will appear up directly on my Adobe Lightroom. Now what I'm gonna do is increase the size directly, and then what I'm gonna do next is going to be going to my develop module. From my develop module, what I'm gonna do is going to be cropping the photo in such a way so that I can see my the skin only. So I'm gonna keep it to be something around like this in such a way so that I will be able to see the skin. After that, you can just hit on enter or just click on done, and after it is done, you can see that I am now able to see the skin only. Okay, there are quite like a lot of ways. So there are like a couple of tools which you're gonna need to fix the texture of the skin. So obviously you can see that my photo is now more visible. If you want to like zoom in or zoom out, just click on here and then select whichever type of zoom you need. So I'm going to click on 33, so which is going to make it more perfect for me to see the skin, but 66 is like more perfect. So what I'm going to do over here is you can also use the navigator to see through the skin. So I'm going to do is keep it over here, and then what you're going to do is use the masking tool. So if you want to use the masking tool, just go to develop module, and then on over here you can see the masking tool is over here. You can also use it like use the keyboard to turn it on, which is going to be Shift and W, and when I click on it, and you can see that the masking tool has opened up a range of data or like a range of tools. So first off, what you're going to do is going to be selecting the subject. So selecting the subject is going to be like selecting subject, and it will take some time for Adobe Lightroom to select the data or select the subject and scan the data, and it will just automatically select just the subject from your screen or from your photo. Okay, so it will take some time, but you will see at a point it will just show it to you. You can use this part or use this navigator tool to see through it, but you can also like zoom out. Let's say I'm going to keep it to be 25, and you can see the whole part of it. You can see from up to down, and you can see that like the whole part is being selected. You can also like do like more. Let's say I'm gonna do is increase the size to be, let's say 66. So I'm gonna keep it over here so that I can see this like skin only. So I'm gonna keep it over here, and then you have like a couple of tools, but the main of the tool is going to be the texture, clarity, and the haze. So first what I'm gonna do is going to be, you can like toggle it up and down to see the the preview of it. So I'm gonna keep it just like this. I'm gonna click on it and keep it to be red parted, because only then you will be able to see the selected part. Now what I'm gonna do is increase or decrease the texture just as I need. So first off, what I'm gonna do is going to be selecting using the slider of texture. If you like decrease the texture, you can see the skin is getting smoother, but the details are getting removed. So I'm gonna do is keep it in such a way or in such a level that you will be able to see that it both looks natural and also looks like a bit more smoother. So I'm going to increase the clarity in such a way so that it doesn't look that smooth, and artificial. So I'm going to keep the clarity a bit high but texture a bit low. Now I'm going to do is dehaze it a bit more so that in such a way it doesn't look artificial. So I'm going to keep it right over here, so now you can see the skin looks a lot more, fresh, and looks a lot more smoother instead of the default photo. So I'm going to keep it to be +3, or maybe like increase it a bit more. So I'm going to keep it to be around 6 maybe. So I'm going to type in 6, hit enter, and you can see it has been applied. So as it is applied, what I'm gonna do next is going to be like fixing the dehaze. You can like fix it however you want. If you want to do that, I prefer keeping the dehaze, a bit higher, because if you like decrease it, it causes a lot of problem. Then you can fix your hue, but I'm not gonna do that. Then what you're gonna do is obviously fix the saturation, sharpness. Well, all is up to you. Now I'm gonna do is increase the saturation up to like a bit more. 14% is perfect. I'm gonna decrease the sharpness but increase the noise. More should be a bit less. Roof difference should be a bit less too. So I'm gonna I'm gonna do is zoom out for a bit. Let's say keep it 25. I'm gonna see it like take a preview of it, and you can see that it has become a lot more smoother in the preview. Okay, so this is how you will be able to like fix the texture of the skin. Well, mainly how you will be able to do it, but there are also other ways of how you can do that. Let's say I'm going to keep the texture to be around something like 26, so that it looks a bit more natural instead of keeping it to be artificial. Next things what you can do is going to be temperature and tint, which is like also very important. So the main thing about temperature is all about getting the neutral color. So what I'm gonna do is, like, you can see when I decrease the temperature, you can see it has turned blue. When I increase it, it has turned to be yellow. But what I'm gonna do over here is going to be doing something else, which is like very important. We're gonna find out the neutral color in between these two of them. So what I'm gonna do over here is decrease it in being very specific in such a way so that you can get a preview of a perfectly balanced color. So let's keep it 11. You can see that it is a bit more cool and also not that yellow either. So I'm going to do the same thing with tint. When I increase the tint, you can see it will turn pink, but when I decrease it, it will turn green. So I don't want any of those, so I'm going to increase it or like decrease it in such a way so that I'm getting the neutral color, or like it's balanced. So I'm going to keep it over here or increase it just a bit so that it looks a lot more better. Then you can fix the exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows, white, blacks. That's going to be up to you, but the main part we're done on the first one. So I'm going to do is fix the exposure. So I'm going to do is decrease or increase the exposure according to my need. Let's say I'm going to keep it to be over here. I'm going to increase the contrast or maybe decrease it a bit. So I'm going to keep it to be 1. Highlights should be a bit more because I need more light over here. Then I'm going to do is decrease the shadow. I'm going to do is increase the whites a bit more so it looks a bit more natural on the because it's like the guy is sitting in such a place where light is getting his whatever he's wearing. Then what I'm going to do is decrease the bright like black or maybe increase the black part. Let's say I'm going to keep it to be 4 or something around 2 3, okay, which is also like quite perfect for this photo. So I'm going to keep it to be 4, and obviously you can see when I zoom out, let's say I'm going to do is keep it to be 12%, and this looks a lot more better than how it was previously. And also the skin like texture is also quite perfect now, so I don't have any of those issues going through this photo and fixing the texture or getting a hassle of it. So you have to keep those things in mind on how you will be able to fix the texture of the skin, and not only the skin but also the masked part. So what you can also do is toggle these parts where you will be able to see the difference. So this is the default self, and when you click on it, and you can see that this is the final result of it. You can like keep it or keep it over here wherever you want. That's going to be up to you. So if you can want to increase it, what you can do is also deselect the part, okay, or you can like select the part, and you can see what the color overlay is. You can also see the color overlay over where it actually is. You can automatically toggle the overlay and however you actually want it. You can also show pins and tools. That is also going to be up to you how you're gonna do it, okay? But yet what you're gonna do is obviously first like select the skin by masking this like the part, and then getting the final result of it by fixing these tools over here, and make sure to like fix the saturation, texture, clarity, clarity and dehaze first, and then what you're gonna do is going to be up to you and totally optional. Okay, so hope you guys like understood everything in this lesson about how you will be able to fix the texture of the skin in Adobe Lightroom, because that is like very important and very demanding in this era. And obviously, to make a photo look better, obviously people use that and editors use that to make, the clients happy and also make the photo look a lot more better these days. So thank you for watching this video and also staying with us, and thank you again, and hope you understood everything.